Mascot Towers Owners can't pay. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. I thought we'd have a look at this article, and this is about the owners of Mascot Towers. If you're not familiar, Mascot Towers is one of the buildings in Sydney, which I'm calling part of the Triangle of Fail. And it's several buildings around, northeast of the Sydney airport and slowly creeping into the city with significant issues. Mascot has been evacuated for some time, and the owners now have to pay a tremendous levy to get the rectification works underway. But a lot of them can't afford to pay it. Just think, they've had to change legislation to allow investors to negative gear the properties even if they're empty on Mascot and Opal. I'm not sure if they're allowing people to do that in Sugar Cube or if they're allowing them to do that at Joshua or at Zetland building. That's one there. Why do Opal and Mascot get the favor? So let's have a look at this article. Apartment owners in Sydney's cracked Mascot Towers have asked for the New South Wales government to help fund remediation works because a third of them can't afford to pay a special levy. 1/3 of the occupants. Just think, if you're struggling to get the money together to pay your mortgage, save up to get an apartment in the city, buy an overpriced apartment, and then this happens. Residents of the 132 apartments were evacuated in mid-June due to cracking in the primary support structure and facade masonry. And in late August, owners passed a motion to raise a special levy worth $7 million plus GST for Stage 1 rectification works. It's just Stage 1. $7 million. But now the Strata Committee has written to the state's Better Regulation Minister. I don't get that term, Better Regulation Minister, arguing a survey of owners suggests 35% won't be able to pay their $60,000 share. Now, this is the problem when you're living in one of these towers. You have to abide by the Strata's rulings, or you have to challenge it in court. You know, you're part of it. You're part of the Strata. And the issue is, when these buildings get finished, what if the developer has control of the Strata for the defects liability period? Applications to extend mortgages have been declined, and the owners said they couldn't obtain a personal loan, borrow the money from friends, refinance using another property, or rely on savings. Stage 1 works is due to begin on September the 30th, but the Strata Committee says that the contract can't be signed due to the shortfall of funds. Well, yeah. I mean, if they don't have the money, they can't sign it. What are they going to do? What situation are they? So they're calling out to the government for help. What do you think, guys? What do you think should happen here? Should the government step in, or shouldn't they? Now, engineers' advice is that the building is in its current condition is less capable of sustaining further overloading due to thermal load cycles that are likely to be imposed onto the building structure during the coming summer. A letter to Kevin Anderson states. So there bloody hell. Capable of sustaining further overloading due to thermal load cycles. Just from the summer. Just from the changes in the weather in summer. Should these thermal load cycles be applied to the structure in its current state, further structural degradation may result, and the rectification cost to the building as a whole would become commercially unviable. Time is of the essence. That feels like a persuasion technique to get people to buy now. So they literally have a ticking clock. Wow. And it shows you with a building of this scale how much of a difference the thermal load can have on the building. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. The committee implored Mr. Andrews to find a solution where the government can assist the owners' corporation with its current cash flow problems. The letter included comments from owners, including one who wrote, "I don't know how to secure 60K in the next 6 months, and I'm currently under a lot of stress." That is the understatement of the year. Currently under a lot of stress. Another wrote, "Please help us repair our building. I've been a hard-working taxpayer for many years. I've not done anything wrong. It is not fair that I am in financial ruin because I bought an apartment in New South Wales. Anything you can do for us will be much appreciated." Well, here's the thing. You've got to remember. This poor person has been paying tax for years, for a big portion of their life. A third of their work every year. Where's that money gone? Where's it been pissed away? Would it have been better if they had have held on to their own money rather than the government manage it on their behalf? So, this is a sorry state of affairs. It really is. Let's have a look at some other quotes from people that had submitted as part of that letter. This is from the Sydney Morning Herald. And we'll scroll down here to see. The letter obtained by the Herald said the owners of Mascot Towers are in a very difficult situation, and securing the funding that is necessary to commence remedial work on the Mascot Towers building is proving to be an impossible task. Applications to extend mortgages have been declined, with owners unable to obtain personal loan, resorting to borrowing money from friends, refinancing by using another property, or relying on savings. So there's 21 comments, with one writing, "I'll be turning 67 years old early next year. My husband passed away 15 years ago. Mascot Towers is my only asset. I have never in my entire life relied on government support." There you go. I mean, that's tragic. 67 years old. The stage 1 levies alone will erode 50% of my savings. I will not be able to ever retire now. At this stage, I really do not know what I will do, as no one will loan me any money. My future is looking bleak, and I am in the process of desperately looking for advice. Stage 1 works are due to begin on September 30. The Strata Committee said the contract can't be signed due to the shortfall in funds. Well, if they can take legal action against another party and hopefully recoup some of this money. But here's the challenge. Going through that court process is not a quick thing. It's not fast. They'll fight it. Whoever they're going will fight it. And this is different to Opal. They've got the unique circumstance where they can sue the government. And that's just a happy coincidence because of the legislation and the fact that the government owns the land, or a government entity owned the land. So and they got some of the development units in there, so they were considered a developer. It's all a bit funny. It's a bit lucky. It's bloody lucky. So the Strata Committee has requested the government provide financial assistance so rectification works can commence and the building does not deteriorate to a point where it is commercially unviable to fix. Our engineer's advice is that the building in its current condition is less capable of sustaining further overloading due to thermal load cycles. Yep, we read that. So they're employing him. The loan will be repaid following any successful claims on the building's insurance or legal action. Because they've set up temporary accommodation. So they've already been provided with funds for temporary accommodation, and now the building can't be rectified, or has to be rectified within this short time period. So what can they do? What can they do? Is this just a case of buyer beware? But there's no way someone coming in here buying it would have any idea. Any idea? They should sue all the lawyers that prepared their transfer papers as well, and the building pest inspectors. They should sue all of those as well. Shouldn't they pick this up? Guarantee you there's so many get out of jail free clauses in their contracts that no, it wouldn't. What would you think, guys? What would you think? I mean, this is pretty tragic. You're going to have a whole house of building of people unoccupied. It'll be interesting to see. We'll have to keep following it and see what happens if the legal case proceeds. You'd hate them to not be able to rectify the repairs, and then the building would have to be demolished. So there you go. Well, then you have more people who are destitute, and they'll need financial support then from the government. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Take care.